Hello and welcome to another edition of TMO Live, the Media Online's video series where we explore the hot topics and ask newsmakers the tough questions. I'm the site's multimedia journalist, Michael Bratt. A recently released book written by respected journalist and editor Lerato Tshabalala, entitled The Way I See It, The Musings of a Black Woman in the Rainbow Nation, caused a social media frenzy. This after an extract was published in the Sunday Times. The author herself joins me to discuss the book as well as the reaction to it. Thanks for being here.
Lovely to be here, Michael. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for the time. So we'll start off with the book. What was the purpose of you writing it? What were you aiming for?
Well, I was asked by Penguin Random House, approached by Penguin Random House to write the book after I wrote a column in the Sunday Times called The 15 Things That White People Should Know About Black People, which was incredibly blunt, and me talking about the fact that black people swim, the fact that we wash our hair. It was quite irreverent and satire is what I do. So my column was called Urban Myths, and it was always around satire. And so when they asked me to write a book, I thought, well, I want to be honest. You know, I want it to sound like me, so I want to write the way I speak, and which means I want to swear, but then I also want to write about all kinds of things, from beauty to the lack of transformation in this country to relationships, and I've had many bomb, and sex, and so more than anything, I wanted the book to be reflective of South Africa right now. Somebody said to me, am I not worried about it being dated? And I thought, I doubt that Anne Frank, when she was writing her diary, she was worried that in 50 years' time, her experience would be dated. And I want to signify the times, I want to embody the times. And I also wanted to show South Africans that there's nothing wrong with being honest and being critical, but laughing at yourself at the same time.
Did you expect the backlash that you got, particularly from the Sunday Times extract? I mean, it was quite provocative. The phrase that stood out for me was choosing blue eyes over black guys.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Sunday Times' headline. I actually don't even say that in the book itself. But here's the thing. I've spent an inordinate amount of time talking about that particular Chapter 9, as my publicist calls it. I was expecting people to react to the book, whether positively or negatively or otherwise. I say in the preface of the book that I don't want people to be apathetic when they read my book. You know, in journalism we call it being vanilla. I didn't want to be vanilla. I didn't want people to read it and go, and then forget about it. I wanted people to engage with it, to be angry, to laugh, to agree, to not, want to give it to their friends. I wanted a reaction. I mean, I wasn't preparing for such a huge reaction because it was a huge reaction. But I thought people would be upset and I was expecting something. But look, in the end, I said I wanted to start a conversation with people, and the conversation sometimes starts because of an argument and sometimes ends because of an argument. So I couldn't dictate how people react to my book. So I'm just happy people are reading again.
So what would you say to those haters, the ones who have labelled you a racist for the comments that you made? What would you say to them?
Look, I think it's really funny for me to be called a racist because it's something I don't relate to. And another interviewer asked me the same thing actually, and I was actually quite dismissive. I'm not that, so I don't even pay attention to it. Look, I'm not going to defend an 800-word extract. That's what people are basing it on. I have written an entire body of work which is around satire, which is an incredibly blunt book, but also very funny. And that was what was missing from that extract, that sense of humor, that thing that says laugh at yourself so you can laugh at others. I use myself quite a bit in the book to show how my own prejudices and how my own stereotypical thinking has just sort of impeded me from doing certain things because this is what I thought of myself and of others. And all I want to say to people is look, after you've read the book and you still want to argue, great. But if you haven't read it and you want to argue, then I'm not interested.
So look at the whole body of work rather than just that chapter.
Yeah. That's like listening to one line of a song and deciding that it's cuck. You have to listen to everything.
So now, this may be dominating the news with you, but there's more to your life than this book.
Yeah.
Yes. You've recently been appointed the editor of the Afropolitan.
Yes.
Well, how did that come about, and what do you hope to get out of it?
When before, I'll answer you by starting at the back. So before I started at Afropolitan, the book was going to come out, I think, maybe 2 months before. My mother said to me, look, tell them the truth. Tell them you've got this book coming out. So if they don't want controversy, they can walk away. You can shake hands and say, okay, that was nice, you know. And I met up with the people at Contact Media. I said, look, this book is coming out. I think it might be controversial. It's got a sticker saying, guaranteed to offend. And they said, yeah, no, go ahead. We want you, you know. And so about 2 days, about a week after the whole Twitter thing happened, I called them up and I said, are you starting to regret the decision? And I mean, the people at Afropolitan have been great. The book is Penguin's #1 nonfiction book for the last 2 weeks. And it's fantastic for me as a Black South African, because there's this notion that Black people don't read. So the marriage between sort of the book and me editing Afropolitan has been very seamless. I was editing a design magazine for the beginning parts, the first quarter of the year, and it just wasn't the right fit for me. And through sort of alchemy and friends, I ended up meeting the people at Contact Media and started with the Afropolitan, which is fantastic because it's in collaboration with the radio station Kai FM, and Kai FM is what I listen to because I'm of that age. I'm a woman of a particular age, and so it's a product that speaks to me. So it's brave. It's 95% Black. They're not afraid of controversy. You know, they like a little bit of nice things. So it's definitely a publication for me to edit right now.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I can guarantee you I'm going to go get your book and read it, and I encourage you to go and get the book and read it. Don't just judge it on the extract that you have read. As she said, read it, and then you can continue the argument if you feel you need to do so. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I had great fun.
That was journalist and editor of the Afropolitan, Lerato Tshabalala.